All right, guys. So, short little video on reinforcement schedules. Um, so when engaging in operant conditioning, using rewards to reinforce a behavior or punishments to uh, to diminish a certain behavior. Um, how you reward and how you punish can have a great effect on the effectiveness of the conditioning. So the most basic kind of reinforcement is continuous. So every time that you see a certain behavior exhibited, you want to reinforce it like a positive reinforcement. I'm going to give a treat. I'm going to give a candy bar to a kid because I did a certain thing, and every single time I see him do it, I give him the treat. So little Billy needs to learn how to raise his hand in class. I have my little like bite-sized candy bar, and every time that Billy raises his hand, bam, there's a candy bar. There's a candy bar. Okay, this is the fastest and I guess easiest reinforcement schedule, but it's also the quickest to extinction. Once Billy realizes, like, hey, I've raised my hand a couple times and I don't like any more candy bars, that effect is going to wear off a lot faster. So instead, we have these partial schedules um, that we can use to try to make the reinforcement a lot more effective and prevent extinction of the trait that or of the behavior that we're looking for. So um, there's kind of just kind of like there was the chart for or reward punishment and then positive and negative. There's same kind of different variables here. So we have the variable and fixed, and then we have ratio and interval. Okay, so first one we're looking at a variable um, supply or reinforcement schedule. Then there is like a variable number of responses. So again, and a ratio is that you're looking for a certain number of examples of the behavior, and interval is a time. Okay, so a variable ratio again for Billy and his raising the hand. Okay, so I'm looking, since it's a ratio, I'm actually looking for him raising his hand. Okay, so I'm looking for examples of the behavior. And if I'm doing a variable schedule, then it's just random. So maybe he does it once and I give him the candy, and then he does it again, does it, don't give him the candy, does it again, I don't give him the candy, and now a third time, here's the candy, and then the next time, two, and he gets a candy. Then he does it four times and a candy. So it's a variable number of times that he's showing the behavior that I give him the reinforcement to continue to do that. Versus interval, it's time. Okay, so maybe on Monday he's raising hand. I give him the candy bar, and then I give him one on Thursday, and then the next week I give him one on a Tuesday. I'm looking for specific lengths of time. So it doesn't matter if he raises his hand 20 times on Monday, then once on Tuesday. It's Tuesday. This is the candy bar day. Here you go. So in ratio, you're looking for number of times they've exhibited that behavior, and interval is just a time thing. Okay, and variable is a random. Versus fixed. Fixed is you're looking for a certain number. So I'm going to give Billy that candy bar every 5 times he raises his hand because it's ratio. So every 5 times or every 6 times or whatever number you want it to be, every certain amount he gets it. Okay, every 3 times he raises his hand, bam. 3 times he raises his hand, bam. 3 times he raises his hand, bam. Versus interval or fixed interval, which again, interval is time, and it's a fixed amount of time. Okay, so I give Billy the candy bar every Tuesday. Every Tuesday and Thursday every week. Bam, here's your candy bar for raising your hand. Bam, here's a candy bar for raising your hand. That kind of stuff. So ratio, you're looking for the number of times they've actually shown displayed the behavior, and interval is all about time. Variable, it's a random number. Fixed, it's a fixed number. Every 3 days, every 3 times they show the behavior, and so on. Okay. Um, So here's our fixed ratio and our variable ratio, our fixed interval and our variable interval. Okay, much more effective than just doing it continuously, because once you stop giving that reinforcement and continuous, that their distinction goes a lot faster, versus the kid doesn't even realize, oh, I'm getting it now, oh, I'm getting it like 3 or 4 times. It's much stronger. Okay, so variable schedules are much more resistant to extinction, and ratio schedules cause the greatest amount of response. So it's it kind of depending on what you're looking for, what schedule you would actually use. Um, but when they know they're getting it, they're much more likely to get the response. But the variable, the advantage of that is they can't figure it out. Like, all right, cool. Like, the next time I raise my hand, I'm going to get a candy bar. They never know. They know they might get it, and they have that reinforcement, and they're wanting to raise their hand because they might get a candy bar. They might get a candy bar. Um, and so they realize that that's a positive behavior. Okay, so those are your supply schedules, or sorry, I'm doing economics. Your reinforcement schedules. So you have ratio and interval. Ratio is the number of time of the response or of the behavior. Interval is all about time. Variable is random. Fixed is a certain set number of responses or a certain fixed amount of time.